Do you think there's a main thing that holds most people back from actually living life that they want?
Yeah.
What do you think is a very common trait?
A trait would be different than like a limiting belief, but
Both.
a trait is close-mindedness, or I kind of synonymously use it with like conviction. Like you think you are so right about something that you don't explore the complete other side.
Yeah.
But if you're a closed-minded person and you're not open to experiencing things that are greater than you, from a different part of the world even.
Yeah.
I know we just went through this talk with our Chinese healing therapist, but she's been doing this for 17 years and has seen amazing results. And some people will immediately dismiss that as some woo-woo shit, right?
Yeah.
But what if you learn one thing about how your body operates that completely changes something for you, right? Like if you have like an upset stomach because of something you eat, but you haven't figured out what it is yet. But there's an equal and opposite thing that will actually help your stomach to digest that kind of stuff. That one piece of knowledge could be 40 years of happier living.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, even if that alone has so much value into it. So I think closed-mindedness, to answer your question, closed-mindedness and like a conviction that what you're doing is exactly what you should be doing and what everyone should be doing. Because if you're doing something, it's often because you believe it to be really productive or it helps you in some sort of way.
The Sacred Joe's Podcast.
It's sacred, man. So yeah, what's up, bro? What's up, Sacred? Dude, so you did your first Colt Punch today.
Yeah, man.
Something we've been looking forward to for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Run me through your experience.
So you might have been looking forward to it. I have not. However, I know I know there's supposed to be some benefits. So, man, at the end of the day, going in, from what I have seen on the internet, from what I have read about, from what I've heard from some interviews, mind over matter. So that was my thought process going in. It was cold as hell, man. But, I mean, from what you'll probably be seeing on the footage, mind over matter. It was cold, but you wouldn't know that you wouldn't know it looking at me. Yeah, Bray was trying to make it colder for me because he thought, oh, he's got this or something. I'm just trying not to react. So he was putting like extra ice cubes on my spine, on my head, moving the circulation of the actual water just to make it colder. I'm like, bro, you don't need to do this. I'm freezing. But
yeah. What was like the bodily sensation like?
What I can say is I felt great when I got out, but really just going in, it's, you dunk yourself in, it's cold as hell, and your body just wants to leave. You just want to jump straight out. And, after watching somebody do it before me, I thought that it would get better as the time progressed, but it didn't. It just, I think minute and a half, I'm like, okay, I need to get out of here, but I'm just like, gotta do it for 3 minutes, gotta do it for 3 minutes, gotta do it for 3 minutes. So, I mean, what was your experience like?
Oh, man. I'll dive into that. In a sec.
Okay.
I want to kind of expand on mine, but
okay.
I have one more question for you I don't want to forget. So,
Sure.
Let's say I'm an alien. I'm coming down to Earth. I don't know the definitions of these words. I don't know cold. I don't know pain. I don't know whatever these feelings are that you're describing, hard, right? How would you physically describe it?
You don't know, so you want me to describe cold? You want me to describe pain?
Describe, because the only thing I can do is I can feel.
Okay, so your body, how do I describe this without using cold or pain? It was cold and painful, bro.
Yeah.
How do I describe it?
Yeah.
How do I describe how my body felt? I just, what I'm saying is it's just you want to get out. It's not natural, it's not natural to be in that type of cold, especially especially for an African American man such as myself. It's white people shit. No, I'm kidding. All right. No, but
I'll take.
Yeah, no, but bro, I don't know how to describe that. Like, how would you describe it? Like,
yeah.
Besides saying that I literally just wanted to leave.
Right. So
it's just a sensation where you're freezing, you're shivering, and
an example would be like when Bray put the ice on your spine, it felt like sharp needles poking into your skin. Your shins feel heavy and dull because the cold was kind of made it feel like your bones were being crushed.
Yeah, that's not how it felt for me.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
It's kind of but a sharp pain. It hurts worse than that. It wakes you up. It's hard. Like, I mean, like, it's not sharp. It's not dull, but it's. I don't know, bro. I'm not good with descriptive words.
No worries. I got you.
So how did it feel for you, bro?
So you get in, right? So you dove into the Colt Punch pool. First time ever, I was stoked. First feeling, my whole body started shaking immediately. Complete fight or flight.
Yeah.
Get me out of this situation right now.
Yeah.
Got to bring it back with your breath work, right? Deep breath. You're safe. You're not gonna die. You gotta understand that. But your body's telling you that because it's a completely new situation.
Yeah.
The coldness kept getting stronger within and deeper into my body. So at first I was like, oh, my skin's kind of cold, like taking a cold shower.
Yeah.
And then I felt my blood in my body just start to freeze up. And then my bones got super, super heavy as if like, you know, I could move my legs so freely right now. But it felt like I couldn't move my leg no matter what I did. Like there was like a 200-pound barbell on my leg. That's how I was feeling.
Wow.
Yeah. And so getting into like the actual freezing part of it, it literally froze me where I was. And the only thing keeping me from jumping out was just the mind over matter, right? The breath work that was like, okay, you're feeling fucking insane. Just keep breathing. Trust yourself to do this. And that was my first experience. And if you look at the video, I mean, I was hyper. I had a panic attack.
Oh, for sure.
I was like,
for sure. I didn't think you were gonna make it.
I didn't think so either. But deep down, I think that's kind of what you have to tap into, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna make it. And I think that's is that the whole point? Probably.
Yeah, and I think it helps the fact that we have a good group of guys that are like encouraging us the whole way. You know, like these guys have done it before, and like they're like, hey, mind over matter, just encouraging you and just doing it with a group. Like if I was by myself, I probably would have jumped out sooner. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. The accountability was absolutely there.
Exactly, the accountability helped a lot.
Yeah. Wow. It actually reminds me of to go completely meta men here. The triangle that they showed us, right? The action triangle: insight, action, endurance.
Endurance, yeah.
So we got this insight. We're like, yo, these cold plunges are amazing for you, dopamine wise, chemically wise, mentally, physically.
Yeah.
Action, doing the damn thing. But that endurance is what is the missing piece for a lot of these things.
Yeah.
And the endurance of it, of guys looking at you saying, you're staying in there for minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And keeping that going. 3 minutes. Was it 3 minutes?
3 minutes, yeah.
I was not keeping track of time, I'll tell you that.
Oh, believe me, I was.
Yeah,
I'm like, where we at?
down to the second.
That's why I knew a minute and a half. I'm like, where am I at? Like, minute and a half, okay. Well, but yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the endurance part of it, having the guys around is crazy.
Yeah.
It really shatters what you think you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I think I would have jumped out after 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, you ready to do it again tomorrow?
Every day, man.
Every single day.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you think about your experience so far here?
The MetaMen experience so far, it's already feeling like it's life-changing. We were on the beach talking about it, how we often compare ourselves to like our future, like our previous selves, like, oh, I was so happy 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But truly understanding that mentally you are a completely different person because of your experiences and your new thoughts and your new patterns. That's almost kind of an unfair way to like gauge happiness or depression or anger because you're a completely different person now. And so that's been a really big breakthrough. But it just feels like it's breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough on who you really are. And I mean, that's invaluable.
That's awesome.
Yeah. How was your MetaMen experience? We're on day 1, right?
Yeah, this is our
first full day.
Our first full day. Yeah, day 1 we were just arrival and getting to know everybody. But I mean, so far it's been great, man. It's good to see that there's a lot of similarities in terms of what all of us men are going through, and so everybody at this retreat is successful in their own right, and we are all going through we're going through different things, but it's very similar experiences in a way. So it's good to see that I don't feel alone, It's good to see that there's other people doing it. And then also even just Michelle, like some of the things that she said, how she's helping us. How do I put this? The questions, and I don't remember the prompts. I need to go back and look at them. But when she gave us that worksheet of prompts to actually ask ourselves and things to think about, these are like a lot of questions that I don't think about on a regular basis. And it's really making me think about the things, the parts of myself that I kind of avoid. You know, I try to protrude my strengths, you know. But the prompts that she's the questions that she's asking us, it's definitely making me think about my weaknesses and how that's actually holding me back from becoming the best version of myself, you know? So I think it's great so far. I've never done any type of guided meditation, and that's been awesome. You know, you leave it. I've never done any type of guided meditation with an instructor. I've done YouTube guided meditation. I think like you've done it too, right?
Yeah.
But that's been great. I'm excited for the sound healing tonight. I'm just excited so far. First full day, so I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more. Yeah.
Shout out to Michelle. She's been an absolutely amazing experience here.
Absolutely.
And co-founder Noah, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So. Yeah, they've both been great.
Yeah.
Both been great.
One thing I love that she said was, you have this masculine energy of just go, 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 Godspeed, run through things. How can you balance that with a feminine energy of more fluidity and control, instead of going bull run, horns down into things, which is what I personally related to the most.
Yeah.
You know, the I'm going to outwork you, outgrind you kind of mindset. But how can you actually take control of that and do it all intentionally and with fluidity? That was something that really hit hard.
Yeah.
And that's a feminine energy that you can either tap into yourself, or that's her role in all of this.
Her role, yeah.
To provide that like super stable thing. I think that's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, I remember she had said she's not trying to be one of us. She's trying to just bring her feminine energy to help us go through that side.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's been great. I do want to actually talk about something that's not necessarily MetaMen.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how. I'm gonna just give you the footage, bro.
Wherever the conversation goes.
Yeah. But I guess the ideas you had was MetaMen related.
No, I was just thinking we could just talk. I just wanted to get warmed up, have some good conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can talk about anything, honestly, dude.
Yeah. What do you think do you think there's a main thing that holds most people back from actually living life that they want?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is a very common trait?
This is gonna sound like a trait would be different than like a limiting belief, but
Both.
A trait is close-mindedness, or I kind of synonymously use it with like conviction. Like you think you are so right about something that you don't explore the complete other side. And religion is the first thing that comes to mind, but it's transient into everything that we see.
Yeah.
But if you're a closed-minded person and you're not open to experiencing things that are greater than you, from a different part of the world, even.
Yeah.
I know we just went through this talk with our Chinese healing therapist, but she's been doing this for 17 years and has seen amazing results. And some people will immediately dismiss that as some woo-woo shit, right?
Yeah.
But what if you learn one thing about how your body operates that completely changes something for you, right? Like if you have like an upset stomach because of something you eat, but you haven't figured out what it is yet. But there's an equal and opposite thing that will actually help your stomach to digest that kind of stuff. That one piece of knowledge could be 40 years of happier living.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like even if that alone has so much value into it. So I think closed-mindedness, to answer your question, closed-mindedness and like a conviction that what you're doing is exactly what you should be doing and what everyone should be doing. Because if you're doing something, it's often because you believe it to be really productive or it helps you in some sort of way.
Yeah.
So having that trait of just being able to break down your own barriers, that's a trait I see a lot of people just constantly eat shit with.
Yeah, man. But I mean, also, I think it's really hard to do that, especially if you've been trained to think a certain way since you can think. You know, we're all supposed to go down this narrow path.
Yeah.
So we think that's the right thing to do. So.
Yeah. So how would you help if somebody let's run through a situation. If somebody you know is closed-minded about a topic, how would you just talk with them to...
Give me an example of a topic.
Let's talk about fitness.
So closed-minded in the sense that they don't feel like it's important?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Let me tell you the ways. That's important. I mean, since we were running through the jungle, man, like we've been active. This is the first. We haven't been this sedentary for that long in terms of the human experience, the human existence. So obviously, we can see in the data what it's done, like, especially in Texas. You know, like what? It's like 65% obesity.
Oh my God! Is that?
It's something. It's over 50%, and it's insane.
That's insane.
That's insane.
I actually have no idea. Continue.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When it comes to fitness, you know, people think gym, lifting weights, blah, blah, blah. No, your fitness can be anything. Like anything that makes you get up and move. So most people have, you know, they work from home or they work from an office. They sit down. We're working on computers. No, get up and move. Going for a walk. Walks are fucking amazing. I've seen people lose 30, 40, 50 pounds from just walking every day, getting in 10,000 steps, and then changing their diet. So as far as fitness, if they're saying like fitness isn't important, you're going to shorten your life if you don't move, period. You know, if you see anything in life that doesn't move as much as seems lifeless, that includes us. Rocks, humans that are sedentary, same thing. Yeah. We need to move. So, hopefully that wasn't too much of a woo-woo answer.
No, I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
Down to like the ancestral bond of us running through jungles. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Great answer, man.
Yeah, but I think everyone knows that. I mean, do you have anybody in your life who just doesn't think fitness is like, who literally is like fitness isn't necessary or like being healthy?
Most of my family.
Really?
Yeah. I'm the
do they not believe that it's necessary or they just don't care to do it?
They don't prioritize it.
Okay.
Yeah, like they'll go like once a month. Yeah. And it's like, the way that I see it is like, okay, there's so much friction in your life because you're doing so many things that you don't really want to do, that you don't even have the energy to do the things that you want to.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a monkey brain, like not to say monkey brain, but it's like a mammal brain, monkey brain survival instinct.
Yeah.
Where you don't have control over what you're doing. And so the things that actually maintain your longevity are just deprioritized because it doesn't do something immediately for you. It's a long-term game. So it's like you're borrowing from yourself tomorrow to fill today.
Yeah.
But tomorrow's going to get closer and closer the more you don't do fitness.
Yeah.
So it's really, really hard to see. It's really hard to process that.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
But it's also a very big driver as to why, you know, guys like us are in shape, because we've seen the other side of it and how people live into it. And in a way, like you're running away from that.
Yeah.
And so I see why it's been important as shit, dude.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, one of the things that I need to prioritize even more in fitness is mobility, and I've learned that today.
Wow.
I've learned that today.
Yeah, it's very humbling. Yeah, our boy Bray was running us through the fitness and mobility game.
Yeah.
Man, how your ankles feeling?
At first, bro, I'm like, I don't know if I can even do this. Like as long as we're in those positions, I'm like, there's no way. Like they were in so much pain. But that was a little bit more mind over matter. I just haven't really moved my ankles in that way in a long time, clearly. Yeah, I just need to get back to. I just need to get used to it. Even Kier was saying that, you know, he trains 55 plus communities, and he's like, man, like, yeah, you got to work on your mobility. Like I've seen what happens when you don't, and that's, you know, he's working with those people all the time. So it's like, yeah, I need to step it up. I'm still young and 32, but you know, if I'm not working on it now, I don't want to. Everyone wants to age as gracefully as possible, and fortunately or unfortunately, you're gonna have to do things that aren't necessarily comfortable, but you're gonna feel good in the long run. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, mobility is gonna be a new priority for me, definitely. And as I've gotten older, I used to work out 6 days a week, pure just demon mode, as much weight as possible, just fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And now I've cut it down to 5 days a week. And that's why I asked Noah what his workout routine is, because he seems pretty, his mobility seems pretty good. He talks about he runs, he's still jacked. And I've been thinking about cutting it to 4 and using that extra time to put into other things like mobility and even getting into fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like boxing. But
it's more athletic endeavors. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's good to be well rounded. It's, you know, being able to walk around like a tank looks cool, but
yeah, you feel like a tank.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're slow and burly, you know.
Yeah. So yeah,
very limited use.
yeah. I want to be able to run in the jungle, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because you see people who can sprint through a jungle.
Yeah.
You know, and like they got these iron feet, and their hips are super mobile, and it's so admirable, man.
Yeah, man. But yo, it's things like this are great, man. It's just good to be able to be in nature. Even this, I'm gonna bring this back to Austin, but I mean, obviously Austin is nowhere near as beautiful as this. But when I think about my thought process, I'd be like, should I ever move back to Dallas? I don't think I should, because of how much more outside activities in nature Austin has to offer, if that makes sense. I know I just completely threw this conversation to a different direction, but
No, I think it's a good point.
I do think nature is very important. And being around it, being in a concrete jungle, I mean, you can dig in and get to work, but at some point you need to get out like this. I think it's important.
Yeah. You know, the one thing that I really noticed.
Grounded enough.
What was that?
So we don't get grounded enough. But what do you notice?
The one thing that I noticed is like how much stimulation we have access to. Like I realized I have a window that's like by a pool that's always popping, and like my phone's like right by my face, and I have 3 screens on my desk now, and just working. And I'm like, this whole retreat, no electronics. I've had my phone like an hour a day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I feel myself craving it nonstop. Like I start tweaking and I'm reaching for my pocket whenever we're at dinner and talking and I get disengaged. I feel myself reaching for my phone. I'm not even wearing pants right now, so I don't even have a way to carry my phone around without losing it. Very intentional. But yeah, I realized like being out in this nature, there's like a natural stimulation here that we don't get. And it's probably a lot healthier saying, look at that beautiful bird and look at the trees and the nature and soaking that in versus doom scrolling on your damn phone.
Yeah.
You know? But it fills a very similar hole.
Yeah, except for one, I think feels it at the right pace. You know, the doom scrolling is just, all that dopamine, those rushes, it's just eventually it turns into anxiety. It's overstimulation.
Yeah, and it's frying us, man. It's frying us. Like attention spans are at an all-time low.
Yeah.
But it takes an attention span to learn and do and fulfill anything. That's not a good trend.
Yeah, it's not.
Let's think about that for a second.
So do you think that?
Oh my God.
Do you think we're trending in what? How did that fall off?
I don't know, but I thought it was a bug.
Jesus Christ. Give me it.
Yeah. This thing falls on you in the jungle.
You literally thought that was a bug, bro?
Yeah.
I literally showed it to you before I put it on.
I think I just felt that. I didn't see it. I didn't fall off.
It didn't fall off. You knocked it off. This thing is... I screw it in so it shouldn't come off. Yeah, just clip it, bro. Yeah, just clip it onto you. But, yeah, what do you think? You're saying this... what did you say? What do you think about the overstimulation of, like, the trend that we're going with the overstimulation of our society? Do you think we'll ever get over that hump, or do you think it's going in the wrong direction?
It's going in the wrong direction, and I was realizing this. If you like go on TikTok and Instagram in like China, for example, this is a huge. You can look this up. Instagram in China, they're not pushing OnlyFans content, and they're not pushing thirst traps, and they're not pushing that stuff.
Yeah,
they have more control over it.
Yeah.
And so people's algorithms are educational, political, knowledgeable. And so the rate that we can consume information is at an all-time high, which I think is an amazing thing. That's going to be amazing for our generation. We're going to be able to pull up the winning practices, the winning rituals, the winning stories throughout generations of history at our fingertips and apply that to ourselves and then make it better. Yeah. Right? It's the concept of like standing on the shoulders of giants. Absolutely. People who have already done the work. And then as a community and a society, we like take one step further. And we can take those steps further a lot faster now. I think I read something that the information on the internet doubles every year now.
Really?
which I think it might be 7 years. I don't know. I gotta figure that out. But it's a fascinating stat. But if you know and you have discipline to control what you consume, you're gonna be a top 1% human fast.
Yeah.
But if you cannot do that, you're gonna get absolutely shafted
Yeah.
by the dopamine rushing content that just does not fill any basic human need.
Yeah.
It's usually just running away or trying to distract yourself from something. But, you know, instead of trying to run away from something, you can run to it. I want to run to a more healthier life.
So how do you stay away from getting distracted by those things?
Well, the first thing is awareness. You got to acknowledge that you're being distracted by these things.
Yeah.
If you don't think you are, then, you know, can't help you. But it starts with like an audit of like your time.
Yeah.
Like take like a 2-hour block every day and meticulously track like what you're doing. You're gonna realize how much time you spend on this shit. And so what I would do is, first is, it's a habit. So it's a habit to do this to yourself, right? To watch things. Sometimes you might open your Instagram and start scrolling without even thinking about it. It's a habit.
Yeah.
So you got to make that habit as frictionable, add as much friction to that habit as possible. So a very tangible example would be like Instagram. I deleted my personal Instagram. I deactivated my personal Instagram.
Yeah.
And now for me to get onto an Instagram account where it's not coaching content or construction content, my two businesses, I have to reactivate my account, type in my password, which I changed to some random Google saved password with like 15 different letters. So I got to log into my other email to do that, two-step verification. And by the time I realize I have to do all this, usually my sober mind is like, dude, by the way, that Instagram feed is just girls and partying and EDM, which I don't even associate with anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't even associate with like those things as productive to me. So that's one way. It's to add as much friction to these things as possible. It's a concept from Atomic Habits. He's like, okay, you got a problem. Let's say you watch way too much TV.
Yeah.
Whenever you get this spout of energy that like calls you to stop watching TV, you're like, damn, I'm really investing so much into that. Take like 2 minutes, unplug your TV, take the remote, put it in a high cabinet, take the TV if you want, and throw it in your garage. You can do that in like 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. But that random spout of energy that you have, which is like your inner self saying you don't need to be doing this, you can use that energy and do something that makes it so hard for you to do the bad habit that you won't do it anymore. Because now to watch TV, you have to go bring in a TV, plug it in, find your remote, and then turn it on. And then hopefully in that like 10-minute setup that you just now have, you can click back in and break the habit. Because it's friction. That's all it is. I got a little feedback for you on your speaking.
What's that?
You can cut the I don't know, the maybes.
When I speak?
Yeah.
In general?
Some filler words?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like it'll be like a topic that you do have a good story about. You just need to think about it for a sec and gather your thoughts. But you say like, I don't know, maybe, or something else.
Yeah.
It's better to just say nothing.
Better just think. Yeah. I need, whenever I know that I'm supposed to do that, I think Obama.
Nice. That's
because
perfect.
Obama really pays attention to what he says before he says it. And if he's not gonna know what he's saying next, he's definitely pausing a lot. And he seems very calculated. Anyways, I think Obama. So I need to keep thinking Obama.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Did I close my door? Yeah. I'm just want that AC go out. Yeah. You want to switch topics? Keep talking?
Yeah, keep talking. We were talking about something
Habits.
else. Yeah.
Habits creating friction.
Yeah, no, I think what you said was great. Habits. Yeah, creating friction. Oh yeah, I was gonna go into, that's actually why I don't have a TV in my room. The reason I don't, the reason that I don't have a TV in my room is because I always want that to be a place of rest and build that habit of it being a place of rest, not staying up and watching TV. So I have a TV in my living room and I have one in my podcast room for work. But I haven't had a TV in my room for 6 years. I've always kept it that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a real study. The healthiest relationships, they like analyze those.
Yeah.
The bedroom needs to be only for sex, intimacy,
Yeah.
and sleep and rest.
Yeah?
Everything else, eating, TV, anything else, work, laptop stuff, out of there.
Yeah.
And when you get into your bed, you'll magically become horny, you'll be ready for your partner, and you'll be ready to rest, whatever the vibe is.
Yep.
Fascinating thing.
That's crazy. I didn't even...
something I've like heavily implemented.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, my bedroom is just my bed and it's like blacked out curtains.
Yeah. Same.
Nice. Yeah, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably realize it works, but that's like, there's like a real thing behind that.
Yeah. I figured, but yeah, I just started doing it a long time ago. And yeah, it works.
And how's the rest been?
Rest is great. Yeah, I mean, I've really, I don't remember the last time I've had trouble really sleeping when I want to sleep. You know, if I've stayed up, it's because I've wanted to stay up and work mostly. But when it's time to go to sleep, I walk in my bedroom and I fall right asleep. Because, yeah, I've set up a sanctuary.
It's conditioned. It's a system.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good job. You know what I was thinking about? That'd be absolutely amazing content, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. If the panel idea you had, right, about picking up like the viral clips about like mental health, wellness, or even current events, and just having like our take on that too.
Yeah.
Because we can do that without a panel. We can just kind of like spitball.
Like do it right now?
We can do that right now.
Yeah.
Because
we could literally watch a video right now from my phone. I'll play it on the screen. Like, so I'll basically put the exact same video on the screen when I edit it.
That's so fire.
And
yeah.
So that's what Apple and Preach does. They play it from their phone. I'm just being extra by buying
just you looking at it
by buying a TV. I'm just being extra. But.
Okay, bet. But even on the short-term reels, we would just be looking at our phones. Or no, it would be like the video, like the screen recording.
I will literally show that video. Like, so if it's this video, it'll be
shrunken down
in the corner right here,
nice.
So they can see what we're watching.
Yeah.
Or it'll take up the whole screen. I'm like, oh yeah, check out this video, and then we comment on it. Like, I'll literally put it over the whole screen. You know, cut back and forth, however I want to do it.
Bet.
So yeah.
I think the way I do it where it actually like increases watch time is the first idea you had.
Showing the whole thing.
No, like screenshot your screen real quick.
Screenshot?
Yeah. Literally like this. So like the video, a little bit bigger than that.
Oh,
but
yeah,
the video
but
will
like
be
right
like,
there.
yeah, but when we're looking down at it or we're watching something, so people know it's a reaction video. And they'll stay and watch that entire clip actually. Yeah. And so they're consuming good content and then also they get the reaction. So
I think I actually saved something that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. This is also really good practice.
Yeah, I don't really like that clip though. Are you looking for a hot take?
No, it could be anything.
Okay, perfect. This guy I like.
You know who's not your friend? The people that sat idly by while you destroyed yourself and they kept their mouth shut the entire time, not expressing any concern whatsoever. And then only when you try to better yourself do they start acting concerned. Oh, you're working too hard. That's not sustainable. That's not healthy. You shouldn't keep doing that. You know why they say that? Because they want you to be better, just not better than them. They know that if you keep going down the path you're going down, you're gonna make them look bad. And they don't want that. So they choose to sit there and watch you destroy yourself, and they choose to not cheer you on when you start doing better. Those people are not your friends.
You know who's not your friend?
Have you ever had a friend like that?
Yes.
Really?
Many friends like that who will cheer on your success when it's convenient for them. But as soon as you're doing something bigger than that, ghost, cut off, talk shit, flip the switch, find a way to bring you down because you've clearly ascended that level. That happened a lot to me in college.
Really?
A lot.
Is it because you were the leader of your fraternity?
That caused a lot of, that made like a pretty big division of the fraternity, like just automatically see me in a different light. The guys who didn't understand the very abundant vision that I had for the guys. And I'm not acting like I'm some like supreme leader who has all his shit together. Yeah. But I knew how to run a freaking chapter, and I knew what we needed to do to get there.
What was the goal for your fraternity?
So as a fraternity, you're ranked on like a bunch of things, like your social impact, your philanthropy, your brotherhood metrics, your contribution to society. Like the goal of a fraternity is to contribute to your campus, to be very useful to your campus.
Okay.
And we just happen to throw some banging parties too. But that day to day, like the 6 days a week, you're not out doing something. You're contributing to the campus by bringing it life, by bringing it community, by bringing it friendship, by making it a lively place to be in, by throwing philanthropy events, by doing, show outs, cook-offs, just making it a fun place to be and building a community that way.
So what was the friction in terms of these friends that were actually jealous of you? And
yeah, it was, jealousy is one way to put it. The friction was they had a different idea that they were not ready to communicate. They had a different idea for how things should be ran, but they were not willing to make that known. And so it turned into like a silent resentment. Because the guys who came to me and said, I don't know how to do, or I don't want this to go this way. You should really think twice about this. How are you going to run this?
That you respect.
Those are the guys I put in my chairs. That was my vice president, my new member educator, my recruitment chair.
Yeah.
Those guys who had the balls to push their vision. I'm not like trying to like one man show this. I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's a group effort. That's like what our values are based on. So I would put those guys in powerful positions to implement their change.
Yeah.
And it would still have like my swagger on top of it, but it was almost autonomously them.
So I think a lesson for people like the ones that who silently were talking shit behind your back would be for them to actually voice themselves and not. I think they're more scared to actually bring forth their idea, and they kind of take that fear out on you, if that makes sense.
Exactly. But I'm very big on personal responsibility for these things.
Yeah.
And so I take it on myself that maybe I didn't create an environment that let them express that. Or there's something about me that they might not have been comfortable with. But you're absolutely right. There was something that held them back from expressing how they should feel. And so we've implemented strategies like anonymous surveys. We've done like very specific things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, directly, if you notice something going wrong at that level as like a president of a group,
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much you can give into. And if something is a majority opinion, it usually comes up.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who resents somebody for doing that, for trying to make something happen bigger and greater than it was the year before, just look in the mirror.
Have you had anybody more recent in your life that have wanted you to not to they don't want to see, you can tell that they don't want to see you succeed more than them? Do you have anybody that's more recent than being?
Yeah, absolutely.
college?
A lot of my drinking buddies,
Really?
because I'm very consciously trying to sober up.
Really?
Yeah, and so it's a vice grip I have, something that's like significantly altering my time and how I process things. And
Is
so
it a vice group?
vice grip.
Vice group.
It's something that's like squeezing something out of you.
Yeah.
Like everybody has a vice, the thing that holds them back that they can't really beat. And so mine was alcohol. But yeah, I've had friends like that. A lot of drinking buddies, a lot of like old friends who they watch. It's crazy how this works. So let me do this to my, I know I'm pissed. So it's crazy how this works. The friends who watched me struggle this last year were so supportive. They were like, man, like just keep grinding. You're gonna get through this. Keep working out. Just keep your mind tight. Keep putting the hours in, 16-hour days, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I was 40K in debt. Last month I pulled in 55K.
Yeah.
Positive. So I paid off all that debt and then made more profit. And then that same friends completely quiet with the support, almost not even hitting me up anymore. And it's crazy because like when you're down bad, they really support you because it makes them feel better about themselves. And then when you do in a month what they make in a year,
Yeah.
two types of people. Abundant mindset. So people will learn from that and they will say, Shahriq, what did you do to do this?
Absolutely.
And I will give them everything. That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing. That's the Rainmaker model, right? I'm giving them everything. To the guys who will listen, everything. One-on-ones, pure knowledge drop, whatever. Some guys will take that personally or make them insecure or have a scarcity mindset around it where it's like, man, he's got lucky. And then they'll still stay in this like shell of comfort that they have for themselves.
So do you think that it's just silence, or do you know that people are actively rooting against you? Like where's the evidence of that? And maybe am I digging too deep into your
No, that's a great
life?
question. That's a great question. I'll talk about it. Let's see. Let me think.
Or is it a situation where people invite you out and you say no, and they're upset about the fact that you aren't doing that?
Yeah, that's one example.
Okay.
Bro, you've changed. You used to fucking rip it in college.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. What happened to that? Actively guilting me for their benefit. People would, here's a common theme in my life. People would use me for their entertainment and I would let them. I would let people use me for their entertainment. I would be the guy who rips a bunch of shots and says hilarious jokes and acts out at parties and is belligerent. And I had a lot of fun doing that, but it no longer serves me.
Yeah.
But that's an identity, once again, personal responsibility. It's an identity that I built for myself
Yeah.
that I'm now facing the backlash with. And so I built friends in those communities, but the basis of it was something that was so shaky
Yeah.
that if I don't identify that, I pretty much lose that friend because there's no real authentic connection there.
Yeah, you're kind of like I don't want to say a clown, but
Yeah, I like the cloud, yeah.
like an entertainment for them. But it's crazy. My brother Philip is very similar. He's he's the energetic guy. He's the life of the party. It's interesting how you've been able to take that energy and refocus it somewhere else. I know from what I've seen from him, it's definitely has drained him sometimes. And I think what I've seen him do after he's done being the life of the party, done entertaining everybody else, he'll actually go into hiding almost. Like he'll just stop talking to everybody for a while. Have you ever done that in your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
He feels like he can't provide that energy right now, so he can't be around people anymore. He'll go ghost for like a couple months and then come back.
Yep.
And then the cycle repeats.
Yeah, it's almost like a people pleaser thing. It's like you're so worried about what people think about you that you put this front up of pure energy and excitement, even if it's not really what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And people love that. People love people like that. People love energetic people.
Wow.
But to put that responsibility on yourself to fill somebody else's bucket,
you can't sustain that.
you can't sustain it. You're gonna burn out and ghost people. I've done that before a lot.
Yeah.
And I realized, I was like, it's because I don't feel like I can be my authentic self with people. And when you feel that way, you tend to really retreat. That was my action. I was feeling like I couldn't be authentic. I was feeling inauthentic. So my resulting action was retreat, hide, ignore.
Yeah, I think that's what he would do. He would do the same
Because
thing.
my thought behind all of it was, people won't like me if I'm energetic. Or people only like me
when you're energetic.
Yeah.
And some of that proof is from some of the people saying, you've changed. You're not being this person for me. So some people will only like you when you're energetic, but I don't think those are the right people that will propel you forward in life.
Yeah, well said.
The people that are trying to get stuff from you rather than the people who are trying to go run alongside with you. Yeah. You know?
And that's actually made me understand why people preserve their energy.
Yeah.
Like they only preserve a certain energy for the people they trust.
Yeah.
Because somebody like you, I can give a shitload of my belligerent energy to, and it'd be a great time. But I also trust that like when the energy is down, or I need to like your consultation on something, or if I need you to help me with something, then that's also there.
Yeah, I'll be there, exactly.
Yeah. So it's like a 100% relationship.
It's getting dark and it probably can't see us right now. And we're gonna have to be
20 minutes.
20 minutes. I think we got some stuff in there.
Yeah.
But even to continue this conversation off camera,
The Sacred Toast Podcast.